Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. This is Let's Play Train Simulator. We are finally going to go into South Wales Coastal. I've been saying for a while this is one of the routes I needed to get done. I know I mentioned other routes. I know I mentioned, for example, the East Coast Main Line, but you know what? A lot of the third-party stuff on that requires things like the Class 185 and the Class 700 and the Class 800 expansion pack now. So I'm going to let the East Coast Main Line kind of wallow for a bit in despair waiting for me, and we're going to go ahead and get the stuff done that will help me unlock other major routes. Well, I shouldn't say unlock, that's the wrong word. I'm looking at a route called Berks and Hants to Bristol and Penzance, which is a merged route between the Southwestern Expressways to Reading, not the official one, the one that was done on the base route by I think it was Mark Masterson. And then that's a merge with the Railways of Devon and Cornwall by high-speed tracks. There's a lot of routes that are part of that, and I want to do all the little mini routes that are part of that. At the same time, there's also a new item out called, well, not a new item, but an old new item, a new old item called Stevens Pass. Down here, we have obviously scenarios like Everett. We have scenarios like Fruit Service Local, Gold Bar Showdown. I want to play these. This is, in my opinion, the best American route that exists in Train Simulator, in my opinion, from what I've seen. And the scenarios obviously work out really well. We got the special livery scenarios. We got these are parts, like part 1, part 2. And over on the standard tab, there's also a standard set of scenarios that give you a tour of the full route. So that's the way a DLC should be. We're going to pass these other routes here. Southwestern Expressway, you can see the original one right there. I thought I purchased the Reading one. Okay, it's not in this section apparently. I must have bought the one that has standard scenarios. But anyway, you can see that I also have South Wales Main Line. That came for free. I should explain this. This came for free for owners of the original South Wales Coastal and South Wales Coastal Bristol to Swansea. So this is the unbranded version of the route right here. This is where the trains are unbranded and they don't have any indication of who they work for. And this includes all of the original scenarios. So the scenario we're going to be doing today is the same one that is down here. I believe it was, yeah. This is the scenario we're doing today, I believe. Cardiff to Holyhead, or it might be Holyhead to Cardiff. These are the first two scenarios on the South Wales Coastal. But if you look up here, you're going to notice that Bristol, Swansea, they numbered their scenarios 1 to 7 as well. Those are the same scenarios on the other route. If we come up here, you're going to notice there's the Cardiff to Holyhead, the Holyhead to Cardiff. Same pair of scenarios. So these first 8 scenarios are actually scenarios 8 to 15 on South Wales Main Line. Why? I don't know. They did it on North Wales Coastal as well, where the first batch of scenarios is actually the second one on the route. So the ones that do the full route come ahead of the other ones that only do half the route. Interesting decision, but that's what they did. So in any case, speaking of North Wales Coastal, they did re-release the full version of that, but I'm holding off on that because $4 compared to $40, no, not a chance. Not happening. In any case, I'm glad to see that route back, and I'm going to wait for that to come into a bundle or come very cheap someday, and I will go ahead and add that to my list. So, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start with South Wales Coastal because that's a route that we really need to explore that forms a major connection to the Berks and Hants, Bristol and Penzance. There's also a lot of content in there. We have the Arriva Trains Wales pack, which has that 158 and 143 you can see there. There's some railfan scenarios, and if we come down to Bristol, Swansea, you're going to also notice that there's some scenarios with the 67 in here as well. And these 67 scenarios, by the way, these are also now on the full version of the route. I don't know what happened. They must have redid those ones, but they did not redo these ones. These are the 3 they did not redo. They're stuck on this version of the route, and they are not working on the other version yet. I might fix that. I might clone them, and I might try and move them over, but we'll see. I'll put them in the workshop if I do that. These 150 scenarios, I believe these are actually the Arriva Trains Wales. I believe these are the same scenarios that Armstrong Powerhouse did. He must have updated these without saying anything because they now work with the other route as well. Actually, no, I take that back. These are the original ones, and then the 152. There is a set of 152 scenarios down here somewhere. I don't know what happened to them. I'll figure it out later. Anyway, these are the ones that came with the Armstrong Powerhouse version of the 150/2 that was on Steam. I don't have the original 152. And I don't think you use this route anyway, so that's fine. Anyway, let's go ahead and play the first scenario today. I'm blabbing now. These scenarios are all short scenarios. 15, 20, 40, 35. And then we get to the ones that are longer, 50, 60, 60, 60. So the longest we have for a scenario is an hour. The longest for these first half of the scenarios is about 40 minutes. Let's go ahead and start the first scenario today, shall we? Let's get going. before we get underway in this 15-minute scenario, let's go ahead and take a look at this train and how it operates and what everything is. So I'm going to go ahead and show you around the cab here, and we're going to take a look at everything that's around here. We're going to look at the back wall and see if there's anything on the back wall. I don't think there really is, but we'll look at that in a second. So let's start over here at this part of the cab. This section over here, I'm going to try not to move too fast too, because I sometimes get myself seasick doing this. So we're going to start over here, and we have what is first the master key. The master key obviously has to be put in to do anything. It is already inserted, so we don't have to worry about that. Above that, we have the reverser, and next to that, we have the brake and throttle control. This is a combined brake and throttle, so you don't have to use the normal brake buttons. You can just use your A and D to both increase and slow down the trains. This is one of those easy trains in terms of operation. The button for starting and stopping the engine is right above that, which actually seems convenient, you know? Actually, I take that back. That's the emergency brake. This is labeled for some reason. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong button. This is the emergency brake, and the engine stop-start button is actually still nearby right over here. This is the engine stop-start button. So that's how you can start the engine and slow it down. So we'll just demonstrate that. The engine is now off, and we can turn it back on. Maybe. Oh, engine start is up here. So the top one is engine start, the bottom one is engine stop. There you go. I'm learning. The headlight control is obviously way up at the top, and I'll take a quick look at that up here because we're near there. The headlight control is right here. So this is where we're going to be turning the headlights on and, you know, getting our settings done. So there's headlight stay. Here's, let's use the H button to make this easy. Shift H. No, H doesn't work on this train. Well, I'm learning. Good to know. You know, it's kind of funny because the manual says the H button should work, and as I push H, actually it is working now. So there you go. So there's the tail setting. That's why, because apparently this first H setting moves to the left. I don't know why. That's a weird setup decision, but the first H moves it to tail, so only your tail lights are on. Then the next H moves it to headlights. Then all the marker lights are turned on. And then you have the daytime setting, and that's basically it. So we're going to be turning on the daytime headlights, and we're going to work with those because it is, you know, daytime in this scenario. So that's perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and zoom out of that, and we're going to head back down here, and we're going to look at more buttons. We have over here, we have the speed set. So this will allow you to set a certain speed as you're going. Now, it looks like it is just a button, so it looks like this actually works as a cruise control. This is not like in the 377 where you have to move dials to move the marker around your maximum speed, and then that's your maximum speed. This is actually one where you push the button and boom, you got a set speed. Now, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to play the scenarios, you know, the way you should be. I may at some point during an express scenario pull that out to show how it works, but in the meantime, I'm going to leave it alone. So I'm not going to use that for now. DRA you can see over here on the next button here. There's a DRA. The yellow thing is the driver monitor appliance, I should say. So that turns on so you don't apply power to the engine. We have the AWS reset, which is over here. That button obviously resets those alarms that you get. So we're going to push that from time to time. And let's see, what else do we have here? I feel like I missed... Oh, no, I got everything so far. Okay, so we're going to continue on. We're going to find the cab lights, which turns on the cab light. Now, interestingly enough, you have to actually hold it down and pull it. The L button does do it. So the L button does it much more easily. It's better to use the L button on the keyboard and do that, but you can drag it, as you notice, to turn it off and on as well. So the L button is the best way to do that, and that's what I'm going to generally do if I want to turn on the cab light to see something. Why not, right? Below that we have a horn, which I believe is two-tone. There you go. And the instrument lights, I will do that, I think. Yep, there they go. So you can see them turn on and off. So you can see the switch on the... where the instrument lights turn on and off is apparently not doing anything. It's just a button. So the button for the instrument lights is right here. And as you can see, if we zoom in on the instrument lights and try to turn them on, nothing really happens. It's just, actually that's the cab light. Let's turn the cab light on to see this. You notice that nothing is happening on the instrument light even though I'm turning the lights on and on. You can't really see, but I am turning the lights off and on right now. And then the last thing we're going to worry about is the windshield wipers, which is this. And it gives you all the settings, so we're going to see those at some point while it's raining. For right now, we're going to turn them off because this scenario is not raining. So there's your quick tour of the cab. That's pretty much the buttons that are set up in this. There is an Armstrong Powerhouse version of this that gives you more buttons. And at some point in the future, hello, train going by. At some point in the future, we are going to have more buttons to look at for this train. But this is just a quick tutorial. We'll look at some of the extra buttons and the extra features of the train, such as, you know, any kind of GSM radio, when we get to the Armstrong Powerhouse version of the train. For these scenarios, all the South Wales coastal scenarios that use the 175, we're only going to be looking at this version of the train. So let's go ahead and get into the main scenario right now, shall we? Let's reset the scenario to start, and we will start going. Welcome aboard 1W95, operating Arriva Trains Wales service to Holyhead via Shrewsbury. You're cleared to enter Cardiff Central Platform 3. These Class 175 DMUs are express units, so we expect an efficient run. Thanks for the pressure. Set the train up, get going, ready. Okay, we're going to do that, and that means get going now. So reverser up, ding, speed on. We're going to get some headlights going here. Now, I find that the headlight setting seems to need to be on the setting before day, which I find very interesting. All marker lights. You don't really have any kind of visibility otherwise, so such as it is. So I'm up to 20 already. I'm not going to try and go too fast here into the 30 because I have to slow down for a 15 anyway. But we're going to take advantage of some speed while we can here. We're going to start slowing down immediately. The reason I'm slowing down immediately is because 15 is the platform speed limit, so we have to excuse me, get ourselves down to 15. You can see the sign coming up right there saying that we have to be at 15. And there's trains all over the place here. Cheltenham Spa to Maesteg. There's a London Paddington to Swansea coming up on our right. So there are trains all over the place here. That's an HST, by the way. We don't see those on the rails anymore, it looks like. I think those are now retired. Now, I'm not in the UK, so I can't confirm that, but that's my understanding that they are retired. And you're now going to see trains like the 700s and the 800s and the 803. The brand new 803, in fact, just built. And now in service on the East Coast Main Line. So arriving now at Cardiff Central Platform 2, we're going to come to a stop before we reach the end of the platform. Ease off the brakes a little bit for a smoother stop. Not that we have any passengers aboard anyway yet. Doors are open. Passenger boarding is complete. Proceed when ready. The speed limit departing the station is 15 miles per hour. As we get going, we're going to see another train coming up here, Portbury to Aberthaw. You can see that it's a Class 70, 70005 is the engine that's coming our way. It's probably hauling some freight, and it's going to be going along the middle track, which is not used for passenger services at Cardiff Central. So it's kind of like the through track for the freight services, because you're not going to find really any passenger services not stopping at Cardiff. Cardiff is a major station, so a passenger service not stopping at Cardiff is a rare thing indeed. Go. So we are on the leftmost track at this point. The train on the other track, the Class 70, has moved on. We can now see more track ahead. I'm removing the brakes and adding a little bit of speed because 20 is now our speed limit. We are going to hit another brief downhill here, so I'm not going to go all the way to 20. I'm just going to coast at this point. I'm going to get a little bit more. But then I will coast at this point. Going to increase speed now for the 40. And increase even more. Our maximum throttle is a level 4 throttle. We cannot go beyond level 4 throttle. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this at maybe a level 3 for right now. 4 is too much for going to 40. I'm going to drop it down to a level 1 throttle now because we are approaching 40. So then we're taking the Newtown up Main. By the way, we're now at the Cardiff East Branch Junction. We're just at or around that junction. That's going to head to the north towards Cardiff Queen Street. So I believe we take a look at the map. A little bit of lag as we look at the map there. But as we look at the map, we're going to see that we've actually gone past that. There it is up there. There's Cardiff Queen Street up there. Now entering a 75 mile per hour speed restriction. I've gone ahead and put a level 1 throttle back on to build up speed as we go into it. We can now go up to a level 4 throttle. We are good now to increase speed. As we get up to speed, I want to note that further ahead, when I played this scenario originally, you may notice that the I don't know if you can really tell or not, but the difference between 32 and 64-bit Train Simulator. But I started this trying to run in 64-bit. I'm now running the scenario in 32-bit Train Simulator because I ran into an int divide by 0 error along this scenario. Now, I don't think D2U is going to do anything to fix this. I honestly don't expect they're going to because it's a really random error, and sometimes it can be caused by problems with graphic cards, things like that. That's not the problem for me. I've updated them a few times in trying to fix other problems. And I'm pretty sure graphics card is not the issue with the 2017 version of the root. In fact, it could be that my graphics card has been updated and it doesn't like the updated version of it. It could be something like that. But it could also be a problem with 64-bit version of the root compared to the 32-bit version, because the problem could happen at the same point. I wanted to complete the scenario and then try it again on another scenario. So we're going to see on the next scenario if it happens at the same spot. If it does, then it's probably a problem with the root. And I'll have to run these scenarios in 32-bit. So we'll see what happens. So I'm cutting my throttle down to a level 1 throttle now. I'm actually going to go ahead and coast at this point. I came up a little quicker than I meant to. We're not going to look at every single train going by. If you want to know, you can look at the route schedule yourself, or I might even publish a screenshot with it. I don't know. Well, I'll see what I want to do. So we're approaching 95 now. It's shortly after this that the int divide by 0 occurred. That was a weird thing there. Now the other thing I'm trying to figure out is whether the AP, the Armstrong Powerhouse Sky and Enhancement Pack enhancements actually get rid of the divide by 0 error. So if they do, then when I actually install those enhancements, you'll be able to see the route in 64-bit glory with better skies as well. So at some point we'll do that as well. Not today though, not on the original scenarios, not on anything that requires official career scoring. We're going to wait on that. I know people are always asking me, why do I play the career scenarios? Because I want to prove whether they can be done. I'm going to drive them as well as an average driver can. I'm only an average driver. I'm not a professional. But I'm going to drive them as well as an average driver can. We're going to find out whether all of these scenarios can be completed. with this setup, and some of them can't be. I know some of them can't be because of changes to the game. But 2017, other than the timings being tight at times, I don't expect too many problems. Because 2017 was after the major core updates that broke scenarios from places like Norfolk Southern Coal District or, I don't know, Sherman Hill. So this train is able to reach 95 miles per hour. It can probably go slightly beyond, maybe up to 100. I'm not sure. I don't actually should confirm what the maximum speed limit on the train is, shouldn't I? That'd be a good idea. So we are approaching our route speed limit right now, so we're going to make sure we don't exceed that. Yeah, I was actually right. The maximum speed limit for this train is 100 miles per hour, but the route is going to take us no higher than 95 today, so 95 is the highest we're going to go. And I'm going to take a quick peek at the train while I tell you a little bit more about the train. This is the Arriva Trains Wales train, and they were built between 1999 and 2001. They were built by Alstom as part of the Coradia family. And it's the same family as the Class 180. They were built at Washford Heath in Birmingham for First Northwestern. They wanted to replace some of the older stock inherited from BR's privatization. And they were based on a purpose. They were based in a purpose-built depot in Chester, which, in case you're not familiar with Chester, that is the North Wales coastal route. At least that was the case at the time of this being published. I don't know if they've been moved since then, because I think I don't know if there's actually new stock being put on the North Wales coastal route as well. So they might not be based there anymore. That may change by the time you're viewing this. Is what I'm getting at. But as of this being released, that was the case. We have a 75 mile per hour speed restriction coming up. I'm going to start getting ready for that because it is going to be a little bit to slow down for that. So I'm just coasting the train right now. I'm going to start slowing down now. We haven't had our warning yet, but I know it's coming up, and I want to do a casual slowdown. There's our warning for it, so now we do have to slow down. It's coming down a little quickly, so I cut off the brakes there. And we should be down to it in time with where we are right now. We are definitely down to it in time. We are going to have a 60 coming up as well, though. We have to keep an eye on that 60. We should be able to slow down based on the warning for that one. So we're coming to the Alexandra Dock up Main. There's our warning, so let's slow down to the 60. Some trucks over there on the left. That line to the left, I believe, goes to the Welsh Marshes line. We're coming up to Newport. Actually, no, I think it actually leaves from Newport. Never mind, that's a different route. That's something else. But I think the Newport connects directly to Welsh Marshes as well, so I stand corrected. I thought that was the Welsh Marshes line that went off. I think that's coming up a little further after Newport. Either that or you actually back into Newport from the Welsh Marshes. I actually don't know that, because I haven't actually played the Welsh Marshes yet. And at some point I'm going to do that too, because there is a merged route, and probably not a lot of scenarios for it, but I want to see if there are any for the merged route. I know some exist. So I'm lowering my speed now for the 30 as we enter the tunnel here. And for anyone wondering, this is called the Hillfield Tunnel. The Hillfield Tunnel. I didn't have that name as we went into it, but I just grabbed my map very quickly and I can confirm that for you. So the Hillfield Tunnel. I'm going to slow down a little bit more, even though we have a 30 speed limit. We are coming to a stop anyway, so we're just going to make sure that we can come to a stop cleanly at the platform. I'm down to 25 now. I'm going to actually drop that down to 20 as we come in. Then we're going to come to a nice gentle stop. So we are joining the platform now. And I'm just applying the brakes at this point. There is a train waiting here, Manchester to Swansea, another class 175. Going to increase the brake application now. I'm going to release some of the brakes right now because I want to have a gentle stop for the passengers. So ease it off now. Hopefully this does not make me too late. And doors are open. Let's take a look at the train as we finish. So looking back on the Hillfield Tunnel, we are now at Newport. Welcome to Newport Station. You can see the sign for it in the distance there, in fact. Right behind, actually right next to the train, I should say. So our passengers are getting off, and this train will continue on its merry way wherever it goes. We're done this scenario, however, so there's not much for us to talk about here. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you also join the Discord server, and you can also support my work on Patreon if you wish to. Other than that, let's take a look at our score. Well done, driver. That was a great run. Before we proceed towards Holyhead, let's review your performance so far. Well, you only had 2 testing points. That shouldn't be much here. Yeah, let's take a look. And there we are. Next time we're going to head in the other direction. This is 1,000, easy 1,000 point scenario. Nothing to really mess with here. So we just got our big score, and now we're going to go to the next scenario, which is going to be going in the other direction. The other direction being from this time, I believe we're going to go from. Well, this might actually be another. I think we're actually going Newport to Cardiff this next time, but I could be mistaken. But we'll find out next time for that. That's for next time. So have a wonderful day, evening, or night. I'll see you then. In the meantime. I'm Cyclone. Make sure you come back for that. We're going to have a lot of scenarios on here coming up. 8 scenarios right now. That's just number 1. See you for number 2. Bye-bye.